of the First Nations people of this nation and their struggle for self-determination. Otherwise, why would there be this total intimidation and constant harassment and brutality on the part of white society, white Canadian society? And by that very point, I think in the end, their struggle will be victorious. One final note before I sit down and get this forum going, or actually two final notes. First of all, special thanks to the Burrard Nation for allowing this forum to take place. And secondly, a very special thank you should go to Val Van Cleef. Although SF-PERG and the People of Color Discussion Group are officially listed as the sponsors of this event, a very disproportionate amount of the work, not just in organizing this forum, but in a lot of extra work has been done by Val Van Cleef over the last few months. And a lot of this has been done on her own personal time with no compensation whatsoever. SF-PERG has tried its best to fully fund Val's work. Unfortunately, the reality, I hate to say this, budgets, you know. But despite this, and despite the fact that she has been severely underpaid, Val has continued on over the last few months. I thank her especially for SF-PERG. Thank you so much.
Oh.
Sorry, I'm so sorry, I forgot to introduce our next speaker, Bob George of the Burrard Community.
Oh. Thanks, Joe. I'm going to eventually sing our family spiritual song, but before that I'd like to say a few words. First of all, I'm glad to be here with you people this evening. And this territory here, as I was told, my forefathers roamed around here. And there's a forest. And the last elder I spoke to, he's from Vernon, and his name is Tom Gregory. And he said, when you go to the negotiating table with the government, he says, tell them that Vancouver is an Indian reserve. So if this is true, I'd just love to have you people wander around on my land and have a meeting and have a conference or a discussion or whatever. As my friends, I welcome you. You know, there's one thing I don't understand about the law in our province here. I was told that you have to do something wrong that's against the law, and then you get arrested. And you get a mark on you, and they take your fingerprints, among other things. But this Gustafson affair, our people up there were doing something right by speaking up for their rights and their freedom and to protect their territory. And they got arrested for this. This is what I don't understand. They got arrested for doing something right, not doing something wrong. And then they wrote in the paper that they were renegades and that they were cop killers. And then they're still harassing our people for having a gathering about the affair. How come some people have the freedom to do anything they want, and then our people get arrested for trying to do something right? I wonder how it would be if there was 100,000 natives and about 1,000 non-native. I wonder if they'd get arrested for doing the right thing. You know, what's happening here? Now I see a good mixture of people from all nations. This tells me there's a lot of hope for your future and mine. It's just that when we see injustice, we should try to do something about it. And we should, like we're doing tonight, stand together and come to the truth of who's doing the wrong thing and who's doing the right thing. See, our elders keep telling us, it's up to you and me to seek and embrace the truth. Now, this is not so easy as it sounds. Like, also the truth within yourself. Because one elder says, "How are you, Bob?" I said, "Everything's fine, everything's cool." And he said, "I think you're full of shit." Because he knew everything wasn't just right. I was upset. This is what they mean about seeking the truth. How do we feel about ourselves? How do we feel about what we're doing about a situation that maybe looks bad, and maybe we can try to make it look better or be better? Or do we just sit down and say, well, maybe that damn problem will go away if I just leave it for a while? This is what our people mean about seeking the truth and embracing it. And trying to get the people together and say, hey man, we gotta do something about this. The same thing happened up in the territory of Bellacoola on this little island. And my daughter's father-in-law was put to jail right here in Vancouver. Same thing. They arrested them, treated them like criminals, and took their fingerprints and everything. Told them there will be a mark against you. And I said, by who? We didn't ask you anything. Sit down and keep quiet. And I said, what happened to the freedom of speech? Nobody said anything. I mean, how come some of us can't speak up for our race? We're told to keep quiet. My relatives were in jail. Chief Lawrence Bootla's wife was with the group, and she died while fighting for her rights. That's another thing that they had to suffer. The death of their first lady. And she stood by her man till the last breath. To me, that's courage. To me, that's love. And to me, that's caring. That's why I say Chief Lawrence Bootlas, he got arrested for trying to do what's right. So I'm glad to see a large group. You folks come here and are striving to do something about the laws and government and the way of life for our First Nation people. I say the only thing we need is more people like you. More people like you that care. More people like you that are concerned about what happens to others. Some of us may have the attitude of saying, well, I'm okay, I don't give a shit about the next guy. He can take care of himself. And then if we need help, we're the first ones that are crying. Why doesn't anybody look? Right. So, if we seek and embrace the truth and stand together as one, the greater number, the more power we'll have. I spoke to an elder in Ontario, and there was about 20 drums, and there our people were dancing, and they called it powwow. And I said, boy, the drums sure sound good. Loud heartbeat. He said, 20 drums. Wow. He says, how about 20,000? Then the world will hear us. And we'll be beaten together. The heartbeat of our people, the heartbeat of our nation. Then we'll show them what power is. Through love and unity and harmony. And stand together. And we want this fixed up today or else. Then they have to listen to you. Then they'll have to do something. You know, I have 3 pages of printed by typewriter of why and when and where of the Gustafson affair. And I've seen nothing of this on the province and on the Sun paper, and I've heard nothing of it on the television. What is the announcer saying? He's saying what the boss tells him what to say. Freedom of speech. You can say on the television, only thing is you have to say what I tell you to say. Is that news? Is that giving it to you the way it's happening? And they do the same thing with the sports. Everything. You can't even believe what you hear or read. I don't buy the province or the Sun. They phoned me and they said, we'll give you 1 month free. I said, I told you I'm not interested in your paper. I said, we don't need it anymore. We got an inside toilet. I was going to tell him, when you start to print the truth, then maybe I'll buy your goddamn paper. He hung up. Have a nice day, asshole. You know, I was accused of having an attitude. And somehow I believe I have. You know, like one chap told me, he says, your words, I think it's bullshit. And he said, I don't like you. Well, thank you, sir. He said, as soon as I met you, I didn't like you. Thanks again. But I said, I'm still ahead of you. I didn't like you before I met you. And he said, how come you're not calling me names? I said, by talking the way you're talking to me, I said, you're telling me what you are already. You're saying it, not me. What do you mean? I said, do you like horses? He says, yes. I said, well, you look like one going the other way. I said, especially when he lifts up his head and waves at it. But enough of this attitude business. I'm here to let you know that I want to stand by you, whatever you do. I was telling one of the boys here up in Commercial there in the next street, it's a little hall. They had a gathering there a while back, and I had to say a few words there. And you'll find that my attitude isn't that bad. It's just that sometimes I get carried away when I feel that some people are being a little bit impatient and unkind. I lecture at a class at the original Friendship Center and I had to catch the bus. And I get off at Commercial there. I pulled the string and I stood by the side door. And people got off the front door. And he didn't even open the door where I was and started up. Gee, I went running to the front of the bus. I said, I pulled the string myself, I said, and I'm standing by the side door. I said, you didn't even open it. So he says, would you like to get off here? We're up to Clark Drive by then. Yeah, I told him, I want to go to Commercial Drive there. He stopped. Thanks very much, I said. Opened the door and I got out. I said, have a nice day. And he shut the door and took off. You shit. So this time he didn't hear me. So I thought that wasn't too bad. And then anyway, the doctor said I have to walk for an hour every day on account of my health. And I thought of that when I was walking from Clark Drive to go to the Friendship Center. Oh yeah, I said, you're kind of forcing me to do my walk before I do the classes. And I'm walking there, you know. I said, hey man, I like to make a choice when I'm going to walk. But thanks anyway. Now I'm going to sing our family spiritual song. And this is for you. Peace in your heart, health, happiness, and safety in your chosen path of life. And also, I'll ask him for success in the cause that you are working for. I'm sure it's good, and I'm sure that you care, or you wouldn't be here if you didn't. Now, you may remain seated. Probably sounds better than my voice. Tiowa, Otsotin Siai Away, half this pounds weight, number no. Half this pounds weight, number Siai Away, half this coquin's weight. Second Toma, the name was Tom. This is my prayer song to you, O Creator. I thank you for bringing me here with my friends and my relatives. I thank you for bringing us together. Our love is to you and to each other. We ask, O Creator, your blessing on each and every one of us and the cause that we are working for. We work for each other for a better future for all. Once again, O Creator, thy blessing on each and every one of us, and we ask that you walk with us in the direction that we have chosen. We believe it's right. Amen.
Oh,